Hey all, Matty Allen here. I'm the drum set instructor and technology specialist at Prairie Music and Arts. In this video, I will be showing you some handy pieces of technology that can help you get the most out of your remote music lessons, whether you are a teacher, a student, or the parent of a student. I will also give you some tips on camera angles, lighting setups, and zoom settings that will help you use the equipment that you already have to its full potential. So get comfortable, grab a snack, or maybe a cup of coffee if you need it, and let's get started. In this video, I'm going to be discussing a few different pieces of equipment. I'm going to be discussing USB webcams, USB microphones, traditional XLR microphones, and audio interfaces. If one or more of these tools is unfamiliar to you, don't worry. I will be going through each one individually and explaining what it does and why you might want to incorporate it into your music lesson setup. Let's start off with USB webcams. When you're in an online music lesson, it's important for both teachers and students to see each other's faces as well as their musical instruments. In this way, students and teachers can connect on a personal level while also seeing each other's technique for learning purposes. One tool that can help with this is the USB webcam. This is a camera that plugs into your computer through the USB port. Now this will allow you to move your camera angle without moving your entire computer and risking dropping it in the middle of your music lesson. Oof, that would not be fun. Now let's talk microphones. We're going to be discussing two different options for microphones: USB microphones and traditional XLR microphones. Let's start off with USB microphones like the ones shown here. USB microphones will drastically improve the audio quality for your video music lessons over the internal microphones built into your computer. Also, similar to the USB webcam, USB microphones will allow you to adjust your microphone placement without moving your entire computer. Okay, so next up are traditional microphones that use an XLR connection. These are the sorts of microphones that you would find in a music recording studio or a live music venue. These microphones use XLR cables that have 3 prongs. They look like this. So as I mentioned before, you can't actually use XLR microphones without some additional equipment. So why use them at all? Well, let's talk about audio interfaces. An audio interface is a device that allows you to connect multiple audio tools to your computer, such as microphones, instruments that use 1/4-inch cables, and headphones. In addition to that, most audio interfaces allow you to adjust the gain or volume of individual audio channels. This can be really useful when you're in a music lesson and you're playing an instrument that has a much louder sound than your natural speaking voice. Here's an example of an audio interface. As you can see, this one allows you to plug 2 XLR or instrument cables into your computer and control the volume. Although some audio interfaces need to be plugged into the wall, others, like this one, can be powered entirely from your computer's USB port. It also has a headphone jack that lets you hear your own microphone as well as your computer's audio. If you're using a smartphone instead of a laptop to conduct your remote music lessons, there are even audio interfaces that are built specifically to work with your phone, like the ones shown here. So back to that question from before. Why would I use an XLR microphone with an audio interface instead of just using a USB microphone? The benefit of using an audio interface with XLR inputs is that in addition to allowing you to connect a microphone or multiple microphones to your computer, it also allows you to connect a digital keyboard, an electric guitar, an electric bass, or any other instrument that uses a 1/4-inch cable. This can be really useful in music lessons for teachers and for students. You may be wondering how to use your USB webcam, USB microphone, or audio interface with Zoom. If you navigate to your Zoom meetings window, you can find your audio and video settings down in the left-hand corner. If you click on either of these 2 arrows, it will bring up menus that will allow you to change your audio input and output devices, as well as your video input device. So we've covered some things that you can buy if you're interested in investing more money into gear to level up your remote music lesson game. But let's say that's just not in your budget right now. Well, the good news is there's still a couple of things that you can do to really improve the quality of your remote music lessons. For those looking to stay within a tighter financial budget, here are a couple of additional tips that can help you improve your remote music lesson experience. Tip number 1, check where your lighting source is. In your video, if you're using a lighting source like a lamp or a window for natural light, make sure that that lighting source is behind your camera Any bright lighting sources in front of the camera are going to make it hard for the teacher or student to see each other during the lesson. Tip number 2, double check your camera angle. Remember, it's best if the student and teacher can see both each other's face and musical instrument. If you can find a camera angle that provides both of these things, you're good to go. Tip number 3, if you're using a phone for your remote music lessons instead of a laptop, consider investing in one of these adjustable phone holder arms that attaches to a desk. These are quite affordable, and many of them come with additional features such as built-in lighting sources and microphone holders. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks again for joining us here at Prairie Music and Arts, where we make music and build dreams through the arts.